And this morning, world oil prices are falling after this weekend's landmark deal with Iran. Supporters predict the agreement could lead to the end of that country's nuclear weapons program. Critics say it lets Iran off the hook too easily. The breakthrough reportedly happened after a series of secret meetings between the U.S. and Iranian officials over the last several months. Margaret Brennan is traveling with Secretary of State John Kerry, and she is outside London's Houses of Parliament. Margaret, good morning.
Good morning to you, Nora and Charlie, from here in London. Secretary of State Kerry flew here to consult with the British foreign minister just hours after they pulled an all-nighter to broker this diplomatic breakthrough. It puts new limits on Iran's nuclear program, but it only lasts for 6 months. It was a rock star welcome home for Iran's negotiating team Sunday night. For this crowd, the nuclear talks were a victory. But the sentiment among lawmakers in the United States was wary.
They're spiking the football in the end zone, saying that, look, we've consolidated our gains, we've relieved sanctions, we're going to have the right to enrich.
In an interview with CBS News immediately after the deal was announced, Secretary of State Kerry defended the agreement that he helped broker.
We will now be able to have greater inspection, greater knowledge, greater restraint, and that will expand the amount of time it would take for them to break out and create a nuclear weapon.
As part of the interim deal, Iran agreed to destroy its stockpile of weapons-grade uranium, restrict its production of nuclear fuel, and give inspectors daily access to select nuclear facilities. In exchange, Iran will get $7 billion in financial relief, most of that through limited oil sales. Sanctions on autos, gold, and chemicals will also be lifted. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu was quick to criticize, saying this relief would allow Iran to get closer to making a bomb.
We cannot and will not allow a regime that calls for the destruction of Israel to obtain the means to achieve this goal.
In a phone call on Sunday, President Obama tried to allay the Prime Minister's concerns and said the two would consult closely to make sure that Iran complies. Secretary Kerry emphasized Iran has just 6 months to back up its words with actions.
Are you skeptical that Iran will actually comply with the deal they just signed?
I think everybody has a right to be skeptical because there are indications that there are people in Iran who have wanted to pursue a weapons program, that there have been secret facilities. That's why we don't take anything at face value.
This deal is a confidence-building measure. It buys time to broker a more complete agreement that addresses things like destroying all of Iran's nuclear fuel and giving access to all of its facilities. Basically, the hard part is just beginning.
Margaret, thank you.